So over the last 11 years of working with 6, 7, and 8-figure companies to scale their businesses to the moon while also maintaining their freedom, their fulfillment, and their sovereignty to live life however they want to live it, I've noticed there's 3 core problems that hold people back from actualizing this. See, a lot of people grow and a lot of people scale their businesses, and then a lot of people end up messaging me saying, fuck, help me. I've never felt more imprisoned in my life. I have never felt like I've had such low levels of energy. I've never felt so scared. I've never felt so rigid. I've never felt so disconnected from my body. I feel so not present in every moment of my life, and I don't feel as though I'm the father. I don't feel as though I'm the mother that my children need. So here are the 3 reasons that people get stuck in this mess in the first place. Number 1, dilution. They have completely diluted their magic. They've completely diluted their power because they don't understand it fully. So they might conduct a coaching call or deliver a service or have a program or whatever it might be, and their magic is in that. And that is what people pay them for. However, similar to a metaphor of essential oils, they've basically got 2 drops of essential oils in 10 liters of water. So the magic's there, but they've got to deliver 10 liters instead of 2 drops for the magic to be received. What does this look like? This looks like delivering 40 coaching calls to a client to finally get the value across. Whereas if they had really understood themselves and they had really understood their magic, they would have done it in 2 calls and they would have got the same result in a fraction of the time. So a lot of people talk about systems, and a lot of people talk about operations, and a lot of people talk about automations to scale and all the rest of it. Well, that has its part, but you can't do that, and it's fucking useless trying to do that if you're diluting yourself to begin with. Now, the second component is disintegration. They're emotionally disintegrated. So even if you gave them the blueprint and you set the business model up where they only have to work an hour or 2 per day, they wouldn't fucking do it because their wounds and their traumas are having an absolute fucking field day. They are being triggered left, right, and center because they've got things like an abandonment wound. And they have convinced themselves that unless they show up to their clients every day, and unless they always check in or pulse check with their clients, or unless they're always in the community, unless they're always doing more, they believe that everybody will leave them. And of course, we can fix this logically. We can create processes so no one would be leaving them and their clients are hanging around more than ever. But if this is a deep-seated wound that they have not healed from, then they're going to create every excuse in the world to try and grasp back at their clients, to try and make sure they don't lose their business. So that's the reason most people hustle. The reason most people hustle isn't because they're actually being productive with it. It's because they fear losing that which they've built. So they can't help themselves but to work. It's the second one. They're disintegrated emotionally. Now, the third one is that they are dependent. And just like an addict and a drug, and I take this seriously, they're addicted to working in their business. They are absolutely addicted to it. The flush of dopamine and hormones and all the rest of it that they get from working, they don't know how to generate it anywhere else. They don't know how to feel good without that dopamine hit. They don't know what to do with themselves when they're not working. I've spoken to many entrepreneurs and I asked them, well, what would you do if you just had the entire day free? And it's the first time they've fucking thought about it. And it's uncomfortable for them to think about because outside of their business, they've kind of become no one. Their identity is dependent on their business. Their relationships are dependent on their business and having business chats and all the rest of it. They've become a shell of a human outside of their business. So they're dependent on it. Now, these 3 reasons are exactly why I don't just coach systems. Why I don't just coach strategies and say, here's a fucking strategy, go do the fucking work, right? We need to really, truly be understanding ourselves on another level so that we're not diluting ourselves. We need to be understanding ourselves on another level. And when I'm working with clients, I'm understanding them as a human and seeing where they are disintegrated. We need to be understanding where they are dependent and helping work with those dependencies. Because I tell you right now, if you're either at 30 plus grand per month and you are in your fucking prison cell, or you can't scale, you can't grow past 10 to 20K per month, then I'm telling you right now, there are things that you are doing that you are not aware of, where you are diluting, where you are having issues with emotional disintegration, and where you are dependent on your work. And that is why you cannot grow without just grinding yourself into the fucking ground. But it gets to be different. And I like to think that I've created with myself and hundreds of entrepreneurs living proof of that. Don't accept the limit.